Oh, okay. Welcome back. This is assignment number 5. So this time, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the classes. So create classes and inherit from parent classes. Right. So what do we do is we're gonna use a computer game right in front of here where the graphic is made up various type of shapes. Okay, cool. Made up of shapes, and we just use classes to define shapes. Let's do it one step by step. So for this assignment, you will first create a polygon class. Okay, good. So let's do it. This is a polygon class we created. So how do we define class? We use a keyword class or lower cases, and a polygon, which is the class name, double column, and all those part are the things inside class. So on low dash init, that's some default function inside of polygon inside of class. When calling init, it's the init method is always going to be the first method that being called when constructing the class and or when constructing an instance of the class or object of the class. So what do we do here? So we add a number side property to the polygon class, add a parameter property to polygon class. Okay, in the init, we always pass self. Self is the instance itself, the class itself, and as a first argument, then we pass the things we want to construct with, to start with. Whenever the polygon class was initted, or we have ourself, and we're going to pass two parameters inside. Arguments inside is num sizes and the parameter. So we do it by save those data in the attributes inside of this object. So the current object dot num sizes means my property num sizes will be equal to the num sizes I give here. This one and here is the same, but this one is actually the property name inside of the class, inside of the object. It might be a bit confusing, but that's how we do it. And this is the first property, is the second property. And we need to add a string method. What is a string method? So when you print in this object, they're going to print this string object. Okay, cool. So let's say it's like what do we do here? So so the string I'm using a format string here, f before the single column, as I mentioned in previous assignments. So in this case, we can use the curly braces to stand for a variable inside. This time since we're gonna print the number sizes, so polygon with how many sizes. So we just extract the number sizes of the property. Okay, let's run it. Let's try to run it. Okay. First, we create an object called polygon. 44, 55, which means it has 44 sizes and have 55 of the parameters. Okay, might doesn't make sense, but doesn't matter. So that's just for example. So we create it and we print test. So what it gives us, it will print the string method. It'll call the string method and print what it returns. So the polygon was 44 size because we give it 44 size when initializing it. Okay, great. So the first part is done, and now we have to create a child class called rectangle that's inherit from the polygon class. So logically, a rectangle is also a polygon. It also has a lot of sizes, but instead of having determined number of sizes, it has just 4 sizes. Okay, so how do we inherit? We can have since it's inherit from it means it has its own attribute and it has its own attribute too. It's just be more specific. So in this case, how we trying to inherit from it. So class, we just do this. Class also is defined as keyword class and give the class name. So this time we pass the parent class name as an argument, like in the argument position. I mean, anyway, it's inside the bracket after the name. And this means we'll inherit polygon as a rectangle class. And we also define init, because that's what we're going to call. when we first time construct any object, we pass the self as the first argument as before, and we pass height and width. This time we know my self's height is always equal to height, width equal to width, and the size is also always going to be full because a rectangle has full sizes. And then the parameters, we can calculate that by giving the height and the width and times 2, because that's going to be the parameters of this rectangle. So now when we trying to run this test, rectangle 1, 5, we're gonna print the size of full, because full sizes, because rectangle has full sizes. And okay, create a rectangle that has area of 5 and parameter of 12, so it's 1, 5. So it was just here, it's right here. Test 1 is the thing we created, and if you print it, it's gonna have full sizes. You can also print, let's say, print test 1 dot parameter, then it will give you the parameters, which is gonna be 12. You can also print test 1 dot height, which it might give you the height, which is 1 or 5. It's 1, okay. In this case, the width is gonna be 5. Right, so the rectangle is we have went through it. Then we go to the next one, which is create another child square. Also it's inherited from rectangle. Great. So the square class is gonna be logically, square is also a rectangle, but it's just it happened to be the height and width are the same. So in this case, we can do some easy thing to inherit from it. Same syntax, class square rectangle. It means we inherit rectangle to make it a square, and we also init self and the height. So this time we just need to pass one argument, which is height, because the height and width, they're going to be the same. And the super means, super is very interesting. This is keyword. It indicates the parent class. So whatever you do here, super means this one. Okay, so means we're gonna inside of the square init, we're gonna call the rectangles init. And we're going to pass height and height twice, because width and height is the same. In this case, we're going to get the same thing. So we're going to get, then we can reuse this part of the logic. Okay, great. So let's do it. So so now we have passed to, okay, good. Yeah, so I have already done this here, as we can see. So we can print test 2. So if we print test 2, then you're going to print this one, which is the size of it. So so polygon with full sizes, and its height is 5, its width is also 5, its parameters, it's going to be 20, because 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 20. So I think, yeah, that's what we have done here. That's this assignment. Thank you very much.